We learned about the persona pattern conceptually in the last video: role, expertise, context, behavior. Now let's see it in action. I'm going to ask Claude the same business question 3 times. Same question, same format, 4 categories, and the same word limit. The only thing that changes is the persona. Watch what happens inside those 4 boxes. Okay, let's look at what we got. Claude filled in all 4 boxes with scores. Outsource 8 out of 10. In-house 4. Quality, outsource 5, in-house 8. Speed, outsource 9, in-house 4. Risk, outsource 5, in-house 6. And the recommendation: at 20 employees, outsource now with a quality vendor, but document everything to make in-house transition smooth at scale. That's actually pretty good. It picks a direction and even thinks ahead to the transition. The explanations are solid too. In-house becomes cost competitive only after 50 plus employees with stable support volume, and risk costs out vendor dependency and data sharing exposure alongside turnover risk in a small team. Those are real considerations. But notice the tone. It's analytical, thorough, balanced, well-structured. It reads like a good consultant's report. But there's no lived experience behind it. Nobody here has actually been in the room when an outsourced team couldn't keep up with a product change. Let's see what a persona does to these same 4 boxes. Before I show you the next version, pause the video. I'm adding a one-line persona, just a role and a specialization. Predict which of those 4 categories do you think will change the most? Cost, quality, speed, risk? Hit pause, make your prediction, then come back. Same question, same 4 boxes, same word limit. The only addition is that one line at the top, a single persona sentence. Okay, first thing to notice, Claude changed the format on us. We gave it the same prompt, but now it's showing bar charts, score badges, visual cards. That's interesting by itself. The persona made Claude present the information like a consultant would, with a visual dashboard. Demo 1 gave us plain text. This already tells you something about how personas shape not just what Claude says, but how it communicates. Now look at the substance. The scores shifted. Cost is now outsource 8, in-house 5. Quality is outsource 6, in-house 8. And risk widened, outsource 5, in-house 7. Demo 1 had that gap at just 1 point. Now it's 2. And the risk section calls out vendor dependency, data sharing exposure, and brand voice risk. That last one, brand voice, is new. But the biggest change is the recommendation. Demo 1 said outsource with a quality vendor. This one says go hybrid, outsource for volume, hire 1 to 2 in-house specialists to own quality and knowledge. Then evaluate the full switch at 50 employees. That's a more nuanced call. One line of persona, and the advice went from pick one to here's a staged strategy. We're about to go from a one-line persona to a detailed one. 4 sentences of specific background. Notice what I'm giving Claude here. A specific role, specific experience. 3 companies, 3 different decisions. Values, customer satisfaction, and team morale. And a constraint. Ruthless about unit economics. 4 components, just like we learned. But the question and the format are identical. Now this is interesting. The format went back to plain text. No bar charts, no visual cards, same structure as Demo 1. But read the content. Look at the cost. Outsourcing wins at 20 people. That's blunt, direct. Then it backs it up with specific dollar figures. A good BPO runs $8 to $15 an hour fully loaded versus 55 to 75,000 plus per FTE. Demo 1 gave us a threshold. This version gives you the math a CFO would run. Quality, in-house wins, but barely matters yet. That barely matters yet, that's a judgment call. Demo 1 was careful and balanced. This persona is telling you not to overthink quality at this stage. Then it adds, a well-documented BPO can get to 80% quality at 40% the cost. That's a practical trade-off, not a textbook comparison. Outsourcing's hidden risk is knowledge loss and churn on their end. In-house risk is overhiring too early and burning cash. Notice, hidden risk. That framing comes from someone who's been surprised by it. Demo 1 listed the risks. This version tells you which one sneaks up on you. And the recommendation, outsource now with a documented escalation path to in-house once you hit 40 plus employees and the product market fit stabilizes. It doesn't just say when to transition. It names the condition, product market fit. That's a startup founder's trigger, not a generic one. Same question, same 4 boxes, same word limit, 3 different levels of insight. We didn't make Claude smarter. We just told it who was answering. Let me put this in perspective. The scores across all 3 demos were actually pretty similar. Outsourcing wins on cost and speed. In-house wins on quality. Risk is close. If you only looked at the numbers, you'd think the persona didn't matter much. But look at what's behind the scores. Demo 1 gave us analysis. 50 plus employee thresholds, vendor dependency, turnover risk. Solid and balanced, but analytical. Demo 2 changed how Claude communicates. Visual cards, bar charts, a hybrid strategy. The persona shaped the presentation, not just the content. Demo 3 gave us dollar figures, direct language. Outsourcing wins at 20 people. Hidden risk is knowledge loss. Barely matters yet. That's someone making calls, not weighing options. Same question, same 4 boxes. The only variable was context. Role, expertise, context, behavior. Those 4 pieces are the difference between a summary and the real advice. In the next lesson, we tackle the most important habit in this entire course, verifying what Claude tells you. Because the better Claude's responses get, the easier it is to trust them without checking. And that is exactly where mistakes happen. See you in lesson 1.5. Trust but verify.